Hello and welcome to my studio. I am Dorian Grace, and today I have with me Grandma Mousey. You guys want to go down the line and introduce yourselves?
Hey, Josh.
Carlene.
Colton.
Corey.
Alex.
All right, this is Grandma Mousey. So I have to ask, Grandma Mousey, I read y'all's bio, and that came from a game?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the game.
Well, I used to teach 3-year-olds.
Yeah?
And we played a game where they would disguise their voices, and we would try and guess who is saying, Grandma Mousey.
Oh, okay.
It's a 3-year-old going, Grandma Mousey.
That's kind of like an evilish,
yes.
kind of.
Yes.
They have no idea that they named our band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have no idea until they see Saw to where they realize where that is. So what do you do in the band?
I sing and play drums and write some of the music. Yeah.
I guess also I feel like every band has they have certain jobs in the band as well. So
Oh yeah.
what would you say?
I would say I'm also all of the administrative tasks. Too.
Oh, administrative tasks.
Yeah,
so you run the social media and
yeah,
stuff like
dude.
that?
The mainly Instagram and then booking. Yeah, those are the main things. I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and then we got, your typical band group chat where we get on there. Okay, we got something coming up. Where are we going to rehearse?
Yeah.
When are we going to rehearse? So I'm the annoying one poking everybody.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
You got to have that person.
You gotta
do it.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you?
Vibes.
I'm here for vibes. I designed a
vibes.
sticker.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of the artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
So we
sure.
have the art designer.
Kind of.
Creative design.
Okay, creative designer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then Colton?
Me? I play keys and synth. I'm a synth guy. Yeah,
Nice.
I
Yeah.
just make crazy noises on the synthesizer.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I play guitar. I've written some of the songs. I think Josh has done majority, but I've done a few. But
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
I play bass.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You come up with. I feel like there's also been some songs where we have a verse and chorus, and then you come up with a core, a bridge, or you've been real good at okay, I'm gonna somehow glue these together with some bass lines that we build around. So.
Yeah, we played a long time together. I feel like there's a little bit of there's a familiarity with because it's been 8 years now.
Yeah.
7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Something I noticed too with you guys, I'm sitting behind the mixing board when you guys are doing that, and my mix is different than y'all's. I hear what I want to hear, and sometimes I'm moving faders to hear what I want to hear. One thing I really noticed about the album that great album, by the way. It's actually one of those albums that I was able to listen to start to finish and not being like, oh, do I need to skip this one? I was actually like, oh, cool. It's I could get all the way through it, and I was like, this is a great album. But one thing I noticed about you guys is that the guitar and bass doesn't do the typical thing in a band, which is really cool for you guys because you do kind of such a large range to where it'll be bluegrass to punk rock or whatever. So when you're doing your guitar stuff, but it's kind of a more rockin' thing, he almost takes kind of the rhythm guitar spot opposed to just being the typical kind of bass player. Mm-hmm. And then when you guys are doing the other kind of stuff, you're actually a typical bass player. You have those bass kind of things going. I thought that was really cool because it fills out what you're doing a lot and it gives you the freedom to, express yourself. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was noticing in the bio that I really liked, and it's funny because I think I was talking to you about this the other day, it's these bands, they're always talking about what their influences are, and you guys have this huge influence, and I'm always yeah, whatever. And then I listen to the record, I'm like, holy crap, there really is I hear punk rock, I hear spaghetti western, I hear Americana, I hear a little bit of shuffle stuff, almost kind of train beat-ish kind of stuff, and it really is all over the place. But it gels together. It's not like something to where you're this is just out of the box too much. It's still you guys. I feel like after listening to that record, you could pick your most different songs and blend it with other bands. I could still be like, nope, that's still Grandma Mousey. Like it's close enough to where it still gels.
Yeah.
So I think that's really neat. So the first song you guys played was Wrestlemania USA, and that song is a lot of fun. Who was the primary song or lyricist for that?
That'd be you? I kind of came up with that one on acoustic guitar, and then brought it into the band. We kind of played it with me. Okay, here's the chords, here's kind of the arrangement and stuff like that. They picked it up real quick, and then I just moved behind the kit, started jamming it, and that one came together really quick.
And then whose idea was the robot voice?
Okay, so that actually, Carlene was doing Frenchie. That today, but that was Frenchie.
Okay.
So
Frenchie idea.
That's who you hear on he's doing the vocoder.
Okay, cool.
And I mean, he was just like, of course, throwing all kinds of ideas into that song and sweet little Easter eggs that are kind of buried in the mix and stuff there. And I like that because it also kind of gave that like eclectic nod there where it's like you hear it and you're like, okay, it's kind of like a rock and roll tune. I could kind of hear this maybe somewhere in the 70s, and then all of a sudden this vocoder Wrestlemania starts coming through, and you're just like, okay, it's still weird, it's still psychedelic. Yeah.
I like the
kind of quirkiness in there a little bit. Yeah.
What's the name of that instrument? Aerosmith used to use it a lot, but you guys have it. You played it a couple times. We say like rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Is that a vibroslap?
Yeah. So I thought that was brilliant.
I don't think we wouldn't have done. That was his Frenchie's idea, right?
I think it was actually Brendan.
Oh, the other guy,
Brendan Sanders. Who also works at the Bubble. Shout out to both those guys. I mean, they like totally. Their fingerprints are all over about half of the album. And that was his idea. He like heard that, and I kind of had the same reaction. Sometimes I'll think that stuff too, and I'll be like, nah, that's kind of like, it'll be kind of Mickey Mouse if I did it, a little too on the nose. But he did it, I was like, honestly, man, it just fits like rhythmically. It's nice right there.
It does, it's super cool.
Yeah.
So you got to just try things, just experiment.
Try anything, for sure.
Yeah, Frenchie is, I've heard a lot of stuff that he's done over the years, and he's a really good producer. Like, he's really good at that kind of thing. And I know he plays a lot of guitar and stuff on people's records, and he always does a great job. So anyway, let's hear Wrestlemania USA.
Nice.
Bathroom floor. Lived at the top of a desert hill. The buzzards
what is the local scene like for you guys?
Yeah, the local scene, I mean, we mainly play in Austin. We usually don't venture out of town that often, but for a while there was a lot of Red River. Our first few EPs, we did a lot more indie rock, alternative rock, kind of did some psychedelic, funky stuff. But with this album, rather than shooting from the hip, we were like, okay, let's really get this concept of like a psychedelic Western with like a little cowpunk. So it's cool because it's opened up the doors to playing at some different spots that we wouldn't normally get a chance to play. So yeah, rather than playing at like midnight somewhere down on Red River, we're playing at like 7 p.m. at a brewery. Or like we're playing at some of these places too where rather than it being like a 3-band bill, they're like, oh, why don't you show up and do like an hour and a half or 3 hours. We did a 3-hour gig during South by. And yeah, it's been totally different, but also everybody's into different kinds of music here, so it kind of, I think, helps to keep us from getting bored with just like having like a very narrow genre of music. It's like, oh, okay, for this next year we can be totally like Western country kind of thing, and then when we get tired of it, we'll just switch it up and hop into something else. You know?
I think that's a great idea. I think for bands that have the capability to do that, which you guys do, you guys have a very broad range of genre, and like I said earlier, it still sounds like you guys without niching yourself too tight into a box. And I like it when bands can do that. Some of my favorite bands are bands that will put out like a hard rock record. The next record's like almost like an acoustic record, and then the next record's like, you know, a little Americana or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool, and it does lend yourself to opening up to more venues and more gigs, especially the more music you have.
Yeah, yeah.
I played in a country band for a while, and it was, you know, of course we did a bunch of covers, but I was like, yeah, we just need more songs because country bands were getting like these 3-4 hour gigs, and
Yeah,
they
all
pay
like
well, and let's keep the money. Like,
Yeah,
it's not getting an opener, you know. So like you're like, let's do this,
Yeah.
and so it kind of really opens up for that kind of thing. Do you guys do any covers when you guys play live for the longer sets?
Yeah, we've had to learn a bunch of covers for some of those longer gigs, but also we do Shrekfest every year.
Yeah.
And so we'll learn a bunch of goofy covers for that. And I mean, but it's everything from like 60s, 70s. We'll play Cher. I mean,
That's cool.
It's like whatever. But like we get a lot from it too, because I know one of our favorites, we learned Just What I Needed by the Cars. And I've always liked that song, but never figured it out. And then we were rehearsing it, and everyone's kind of like, dude, this is like a perfect song. Like this is like so, like every piece just fits right into the next one. There's never a dull moment.
Rick Ocasek's an amazing producer.
Yeah.
You know, he did the Blue and Green album by Weezer.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of production over the years. He's amazing. It's like one of those bands that you dive into that doesn't sound that crazy, and it seems kind of simple, and you start putting things together, you're like, this all is just like a perfect puzzle piece.
Yeah, the
that just
songwriting
fits.
is really what's.
I mean, that
amazing.
first album,
Yeah.
too, it's just like, there's like 5 like smash hits.
Yeah. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Look Out for the Rich, because I really like that song. And I think the reason I really like that song is because there's definitely like a political vibe to it a little bit, but it's not, you're not slapping anybody, you're not telling somebody what they should think, you're just making an observation, which I really like, because some bands, they get a little too political for me, and I'm like, you know, whatever, but this song, like, it's political, but it's in the spot to where it's like, this is enjoyable even if you're on the other side.
Sure.
To me.
Yeah.
Like, it's an amazing song, and it's like, it's just kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, like, huh.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
But I want to hear like kind of what you guys get from it and what kind of came out of it for you guys.
For sure. Well, I mean, yeah, I think lyrically, I took the title of the song, Who's Gonna Look Out for the Rich, from like an op-ed that was in Wall Street Journal or something. Like somebody was really like concerned during one of the campaigns, like, well, who's gonna look out for the rich people? And I was just like, that's hilarious. So, you know, I like wrote it down somewhere and then forgot about it. And then we're making this album, and yeah, I wanted to kind of speak to, again, without getting like super political, about how we kind of end up having this culture war between different sides here in society, when really it's like the ultra rich that own everything and own the newspapers and are like, we should be looking up. So yeah, but didn't want to like, get real bleak or preachy. I was just kind of, gonna make it a little sarcastic. So we started there, and then the album version's fun because Corey's on banjo on there. I'm playing some brushes. We did that with Matt Parmenter at Ice Cream Studio Factories. Got our friend Ray playing some violin, got a little upright bass from our friend Elliot, and it was cool to do a completely different version today with like the full band, rocking out, doing some solos and stuff, so.
It still had a very similar vibe. Like, I mean, I could definitely tell the album version of this, of course. I mean, you're not gonna, being a band like this, you're not gonna have 15 people like, play every show or whatever.
Go-go dancers.
Yeah. But I think it was, I think you guys did a really good job on it, and I really like the guitar solo was.
Thanks.
A little bit of chicken picking in there. It was kind of cool. And I think why I like that song so much too is because it's like, who's gonna look out for the rich? But you're almost coming from like a redneck kind of sound a little bit. If that's not offensive, but like that's kind of feels like it's like
ironic.
You've got it's
We're in
very
Texas,
ironic,
so I mean,
and I like it. And what's funny is like that kind of music's not easy to play either. Like I'm a guitar player. What you're playing, I'm like, maybe give me a week to learn that. Like maybe it's tough. Like I was really impressed by your guitar playing because you really do.
Thanks.
You really do straddle kind of everything tastefully. Without being like, oh, look at me, or being like, oh, I'm just gonna power chord my way through it. It's very kind of in the middle and straddling the lines in a good way that fits the band.
Yeah, you gotta let it breathe.
Really like.
You don't want to be too busy. You can get really.
And I have to say, the honky tonk piano is like
Thank you, man.
super like the sound and just everything was super cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't really play that style, so it's fun to get with these guys and play with them.
Yeah.
He's got such a great guitar style for that stuff that it's fun to comp and be behind him and play.
Yeah, when I was driving my car listening to it, and the first thing I thought as soon as I heard that, I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm in an old saloon, and he's like,
That's what I'm going for.
he's got his whiskey there, and he's got his upright piano that's like out of tune, and he's just banging on it. It's like perfect.
Yeah. I kind of, I butcher that style. I attempt at it because that's such a cool, that parlor piano style.
Yeah.
But I make an attempt at it. Yeah.
Very cool. So I guess we're gonna listen to "Look Out for the Rich."
Who's gonna look out for rich? Who's gonna lend them a hand? It's never enough, even after so much. I think it's time we all pitched in, lend them a hand. Look at all they've gathered, kept up nice and high. Of so much suffering, barely bat an eye. On that don't you dare say they're captains forever had a touch, 'cause they need a bunch more if they need it all from us. Who's gonna look out for this? Who's gonna lend them a hand? It's never even after so much, I think it's time we all pitched in. Lend him a hand, Coy. Carry on until it happens to you. Imagine if you wanted 5 billion but had to settle for 2. Oh, now don't you dare say they're careless, whatever had to touch, 'cause they need a bunch more if they need it all from us. Who's gonna look out for it? Who's gonna lend them a hand? It's never enough, even after so much. So think it's time we all pitched in. lending my hand. Look out for this. Who's gonna lend them a hand? It's never enough, even after so much. I think it's time we all pitched in, lend them a hand.
All right, so let's talk about the album that you guys just released. It's phenomenal. Like I said, I listened to the whole thing nonstop. I loved it. I thought it was very tastefully done. I do also like a lot of times when bands do songs at different studios and different producers because it kind of keeps it fresh, especially. How many songs are on? Is it
13?
13?
Yeah.
It's like 12 or 13 songs. Like sometimes it can get a little daunting if everything feels exactly the same, but it still feels like you guys. But it's definitely, I think being a producer, I can 100% tell what was done where.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think that it is done in a way that it's not too different. It was all mastered by the same person, correct?
Yeah, that was Kevin
That's a
Butler.
big part of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
that's Tube Audio.
I never felt like this song doesn't belong on this album, which happens a lot, especially with the long albums, because people try and put way too many songs on an album when
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
fluffer, you know?
Gets a little bloated.
So I guess, what was the conception of this album? Like, what made you guys decide that, like, we want to go in here and we want to do a full-length album? Because that's not something that people do every day anymore.
Yeah. Well, we had released a few EPs. And like I said, we were always just kind of shooting from the hip, but I did want to do an album that was cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2023, we got a grant from the city, Live Music Fund. And so we're like, sweet, we got a chunk of cash. So we did our first session for this with Frenchie at the Bubble Studios back when he was still in South Austin in like May 2024. And then I think it wasn't until we did 3 songs in February, we went back, did 3 more songs. So we had about half the album. And then we wrote some more, jammed on some more stuff, and then went to Ice Cream Factory Studios for like the last 7 songs. But you know, every time it was like a weekend. And you'd finish the songs and you'd get like a mix, and then you'd be like, awesome, I'm so excited about this, and it's just gonna sit on a drive for,
Yeah.
you know, like, so it took like 2 years. And then even after we were done, we held on to the masters for a while because we just had live stuff going on. But that was the goal, I think, was to like make something conceptual and also just to kind of dip our toes in this water of like country music. Because like I feel like modern country is like in a really weird, kind of messed up place. You know what I mean?
It's
So-
rock, like even some of it's
like twangy pop.
borderline metal with a Texas
Or
accent.
like they have like a trap beat and stuff, which
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, that's cool. Like I love like keep experimenting, keep it growing, but like sometimes just the attitudes or the vibes there are just like.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
all genres of music progresses over time, because like what was called heavy metal in the '60s was Led Zeppelin.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
now heavy metal is like
That would never be. Yeah.
face tattoos and you know,
And all the variations
grunting.
of
Yeah,
metal.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is, you know, great in its own thing, because I mean I can't scream and grunt like that, you know. It's
Yeah.
and I can't. There's no way I could on the guitar like those guys do. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah. I mean, just things progress over time, I think, and I think that country is kind of. I mean, there's still the original, you know, what we think of as country. Like we're growing up, I guess, or I guess when I was growing up. I don't know how old you guys are, but like 90s, 80s country, you know, Dwight Yoakam and stuff like that, and then
It was like a honky tonk.
you know,
throwback,
even
yeah.
even earlier stuff like that, you know, the Nashville versus the Texas, you know, the Willie Nelson, and,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Waylon Jennings and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, for
but
sure.
country's definitely taken a little bit of turn. I mean, there's some country out there that literally just to me sounds like the softer side of Nickelback with the Texas accent.
Yeah.
It's
And
like alternative rock
yeah.
with a twang to it. I mean, they're such great players in that genre, though. So
for
it is
sure.
kind of
Yeah.
strange how the commercialization of it to see that, because you go to Nashville and you see guys like Brent Mason or something, and like they
Yeah.
are some of the best players in the world. But
Yeah.
I mean, what you hear on the radio, though, I feel like that's not very indicative of the real culture of it.
But then it's the question is like, is that where that genre is going?
Well, and
You know?
maybe that's like the top 10 or top 40.
Yeah.
But then like you also hear like tons of other great people that are not, you know, maybe out there winning the CMAs or whatever, but phenomenal songwriters, phenomenal players, and doing their own thing, and not sounding like what is that, that top 10 chart level.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I first talked to Frenchie on the phone about this kind of concept, I was like, yeah, psychedelic Western and all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, Texas Tornadoes. He's like, you need to go listen to Doug Somm, you know. And he's somebody from San Antonio who played all through Central Texas and everywhere. And that was that was a big thing to go back to and just like see, oh, people have been doing psychedelic country rock, Flying Burrito Brothers and all this stuff, you know, since the 60s. And like, we can take that and put our own spin on it. And I mean, yeah, like you said, mix in some of the punk influences where I feel like Minutemen, you know, they have like where it's like probably famously like the Jackass theme.
Yeah,
like Cohesion,
yeah.
like a lot of people will like blend it in and just experiment with it. Cause there's so much there. I think people kind of like write it off as like, oh, it's like a simple genre. Like there's not much to it, you know, 3 chords and you talk about truck and beer. It's like, no, you can like do all this different stuff with that color palette.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess back to the album. I guess what I was saying earlier is deciding to put that many songs on that album. Like, was there a specific reason you guys wanted to do that besides just making a cohesive album, or instead of just putting out singles or an EP like what most people do right now? And are you guys planning on doing, you know, a few music videos? Are you guys planning on doing stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, the songs, I mean, some of those songs had been around for a while, and some of them we had played like even as like a 3-piece for a while. So those, I think we all just felt like, well, we really want to get those in. We like them. And then work with Frenchie. He was really hands-on and like, hey, maybe, you sure you need this section right here? Or what if you just glue these two? Like he was really hands-on with us, doing some cool rearrangements too. But a lot of it just came from collecting ideas over the years and then seeing what we could cram into the studio time that we could afford.
Yeah.
Like especially when we were at Ice Cream Factory, that was a weekend, and we crammed in 7 songs, and some of those we had played a bunch of times together, and then some of the songs we were kind of creating in there.
Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah, and a couple of them too were really Corey creations, like the opening Tumbleweed Ghost Town. I mean, that's like 4 or 5 guitars going on at once with like a little percussion, and then I'm doing like this weird Samuel Elliott spoken word thing. And then we got the cheroot.
The thing with the violin bow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, doing the violin bow on the vibraphone to get some of those eerie sounds. So we were just trying to, at least get more than 10 songs for an album. But I mean, honestly, probably could have crammed more on there if we had more time or more money.
Yeah.
But we got to 13, we're like, that's good. That's good.
So did you guys put every song that you guys recorded on the record?
Yeah. There's
Oh, wow,
nothing.
wow.
There's nothing sitting in a vault anywhere.
That's
yeah.
that's incredible, because especially with an album that long, that there doesn't feel like there's filler in it to me.
That's cool.
Like it feels like the songs that like somebody might think of filler, to me they're necessary.
Cool.
Like it feels like there's a reason that they're in there, opposed to just like, oh yeah, we put the top 5 we like at first, and then we just kind of threw everything else. It doesn't
Right.
feel like that, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about listening to y'all's record. And a lot of people don't do that anymore, and that's, you know, how my favorite records of all time are. That you can listen to stop to finish, and you're not like, oh, I got to skip it to hear this song, or like, oh, can I hurry up and get to that song, or oh, I don't want to hear the first song again. You know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like I can get through it, and I'll keep listening to it. It's great.
Well, it's cool too, because we dropped one single, No Subways in Texas, before it came out. But I didn't want to drop a whole, like do half the album as singles, because I know when I really like a band and I'm excited for an album, it's so cool to be able to experience hearing it all for the first time in like one sitting.
Oh yeah.
So it was like we did one single, and then the next thing was the whole album. And
It's like a story too when you
Yeah.
listen to it all.
Yeah,
Or a movie.
yeah.
Well, and each song is its own thing. I mean, he's got great concepts for each thing, so it's they all.
And people have been like, different people. It's not like there's one song where everyone's like, oh, this is the one. Like, different people pick out, what they like throughout it. So it's been cool.
Well, let's listen to Hinges, and then we'll come back and talk about that song a little bit.
Nice.
Hinges for my elbows, hinges for my knees, hot dogs for my fingers, carrots for my peas. You don't need your tonsils, you just need ice cream. Buttons for my eyelids, hammers for my nails, sunshine for my insides, sand in my trails, carpet for my feet, cushion for my ass, wheel for my clouds, hang over for grass. On and on he goes. Got a jackpot waiting right underneath your nose. Happiness running through these streets trying to find you. So wherever you go, don't slip. Highs, lows, highs and lows. And we're working yourself to another grave is glorified. Taking a nap is letting go. So dream with a sense of pride. Wake up to dance around the old bonfire. See the salt skin on mine. Ricochet of more kids. Sparkle glitter through the sky. On and on he goes. Got a jackpot waiting right underneath your nose. Happiness running through these streets trying to find you. So wherever you go, don't slip. Highs, lows, highs and lows. Up high, down low, up high, too slow, up high, down low, up high, too slow, up high, down low, up high, too slow, up high, down low, up high, too slow.
All right, so tell me about Hinges.
All right,
Arlene's
Hinges.
vocals on that.
Yes, star of the show here, the real singer in the band.
Yeah, it's another thing to where like I almost hear some like gospel kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Which is really
That's what we're
cool.
going
And
for.
I think that was like another thing about y'all's album. I was like, and there's gospel sounding stuff. And there's like, but it all works. It all ties together.
Mm-hmm.
So what is Hinges about?
So Hinges, in the pandemic, Carlene and I, she started an online writing group. And it was like Wednesdays, we'd meet up. It was just like on Zoom or whatever. And each week a different person would bring a writing prompt. And so it could be like anything. Like there was a Julia Child quote one week. Other times somebody would just bring like a commercial. And so one day somebody just brought the word hinges. And so that first verse was my attempt at just like, you know, I'm just going to kind of free thought go through hinge for my elbows, hinge for my knees, and just, you know, the rest of the song came out. And then I was like, hey, maybe I'll try to do something with that. And then, yeah, we just kind of kept pulling on that thread. And, yeah, wound up with this song. And Corey wrote the outro on that. So that's like where Carlene's part starts to come in and soar. And
Well, there was one rehearsal where Colton is going pretty ham on
the organ.
On the organ.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He's going Hammond on the organ.
yeah.
I didn't want to go there.
I think that set the stage for it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy, Corey Henry, that's one of the best keyboard players in the world, and he's, you know, he kind of comes from the gospel world, and so I love pulling in blues, gospel, jazz, tying it all together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then, when you did that, I was answering to that, and then we were like, "This is what this was going to be."
It vibes for sure. Because there's some people that I feel sounds a little forced, but when you guys are doing that, it doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. It feels like it's supposed to be in the song, opposed to somebody, you know, again, like, from my standpoint as being a producer over time, I don't really like it if somebody is standing out just to be standing out, unless of course it's like, oh, this is Stevie Ray Vaughan's album, so, you know, it's or Eric Johnson or Victor Wooten or, you know, whoever, you know, the star is or whatever, but like, it fits the song and it doesn't feel like a look at me moment, even though it kind of it is. But it's in a very good way to where it doesn't feel like it's coming out of nowhere.
Right.
It feels like the song is almost asking for it because you guys are doing that
serve
together.
the song, I mean, there's moments to shine. You don't want to like overtake the energy of the song, but I think it's good for some people to rise forward and then you pull back and then now it's his part again. And
Call and response.
Yeah, the ebb and the flow of music.
You guys have a very good ebb and flow when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I think that's one thing I really appreciate. You know, seeing you live, I've seen you guys a couple times live at, like we said, at Pecan Street and for a South by Southwest thing, and then again here, you know, it's even more fun for me because I get to sit like in my home recording base and I get to watch you guys and I get to put you under the microscope and it's even better. You know, I mean, you guys are good live, but then it's like a lot of times when you get somebody that's under the microscope, you're kind of like, they're just good live because they're a good live band, but like, I could turn the cameras off and just listen to you guys just playing live and recording and be like, that's still great singing, great musicianship, great songwriting, and so
Thanks a lot, man. That means a lot.
It's good stuff. I mean, that's again like, you know, I wouldn't have asked you guys to come in and do this if I didn't like the music.
They're kind of shit.
They suck, but man, no, I think that's the. I mean, you guys are one of the first people I called for sure, and you know, episode 2, woohoo!
Hey, we saw the first one. We loved it. So
Pleasure.
I do want to get you guys to plug your Instagram. So
sure.
What's the Instagram handle?
Just the band name, Grandma Mousey. So
Grandma Mousey.
yeah, I think there's an underscore between the two words.
And you have a website as well?
Yeah, we got grandmamousey.com.
You got it.
We're very official. Not the .govs, not .edus. Yeah. We're the one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, check out their new record. It's amazing. I'm going to listen to it again probably several times. I haven't had a chance to listen to it in my studio yet, which that's going to be the next thing to do because I love the stuff Frenchie puts out, and I like the stuff. I'm not super familiar with Ice Cream Studio.
That's kind of Central Austin.
Yeah.
Matt Parmenter.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I've heard a couple things recently. I've been like, oh, that's pretty good. Like,
He was one of the best I've worked with. Yeah, he was really good.
Well, awesome. Thanks for joining me, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.